NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals taking on Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans.
We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. It's certainly hot outside here in the desert, but somehow this Cardinal crowd turned up the heat a moment ago. They were in a frenzy as their team emerged from the tunnel, and the Cardinals, they're set to do battle with the Houston Texans. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. Out comes Deshaun Watson, ready to captain the ship here for this Houston offense.
Had a chance to meet him while he was still at Clemson at a summer camp, partner. And this is one of the best kids you're going to meet out there. And he doesn't say a whole lot, but it's fun to watch how people respond to him. When he was a camp counselor, the kids just flocked around him like the Pied Piper, just as his teammates did while he was at Clemson.
This is Johnson.
Number 31.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
At the 26-yard line.
A toss, left side, Johnson. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25.
David Johnson.
Well, that was not what you would call straight line pursuit for a middle linebacker to make this play. He's got to work his way through the clutter to get to the ball carrier on the outside. And he does exactly that. That's called avoiding the trash.
He gets it left side to Johnson. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure they didn't give up much run after catch.
This one complete to Christian Kirk, and he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
1st and 10.
Jet sweep. Here's Fitzgerald. And some room to work. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. It's a gain of 34. Well, for a play that didn't look like much at the snap, that jet sweep turned into a big play in a hurry.
And how about how they rammed the play? Because they obviously caught the defense out of position and not expecting that one, and that turned into a nice chunk of yards.
And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Kyler Murray, 32 yards. And the Cardinals have taken the early lead. Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me?
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. I thought the days of the fake extra point were numbered once they moved these kicks back to the 15. Apparently, I was mistaken.
Yeah, I was wondering who was ever going to try to do this. In fact, I quit wondering. I didn't think it would ever happen. Taking a fake from the 15-yard line to try and pick up an extra point. I didn't think anyone would ever call this.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. So now we get set to see Houston for their 2nd drive of the ball game. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown.
Zane Gonzalez lining up for the extra point.
So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And it's a big advantage of it when the other direction. Excellent blocking and picked up a touchdown.
Takes this about 5 yards deep, and no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll start with a handoff to Johnson. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit, and find our way back into this game.
The keeper. An 8-yard.
Last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
That catch good for only a couple.
Out of bounds at the 43-yard line. A gain of 2.
Looking to throw again on second down. Watson, and he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Duke Johnson, the one he was looking for. Third down here.
Third down.
And a shotgun snap for Watson. Caught left side by Cobb. And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the first down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
At their own 19-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Sliding out of the pocket. Now he'll pull it down. He's got a first down past the 30. He's got daylight. The 20. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. So he wanted to pass it, but that thing turned out much better.
And the crowd really responded, didn't they? They always like it better when the quarterback who's scrambling around actually takes off and runs downfield, and that's exactly what he did.
Me to explain what in the world happened there, folks. That's a safety in the strangest of ways. My word. Oh, my. All I can say is that baby might have just set the game of football back 40 years. Maybe 50, maybe 60.
Let's just go for 70. Just keep going.
The game never started.
Because there's no way I can analyze that. There's just no way.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Here's Watson. He'll buy some time right. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it and run time, and he picks up a first down.
Watson, he fakes to Johnson and now looks to throw. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. That catch good for only a couple.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
First down, Houston.
From the gun, here's Watson. Throw complete right side to Cooks.
Watson's
3 yards the gain there, second down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line.
The ball carrier.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
A gain of 2. Brings up second and 8 at the 26-yard line.
Out of the gun, Watson looking middle, and it's incomplete. Duke Johnson, the one he was looking for. And it's third down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
And 8 yards to go.
Throwing on third down, Watson. Now they're staring at a fourth down as Arizona's defense does its job.
Intended for Duke Johnson. Incomplete. It's fourth down.
So on fourth down, Texan kicker Kaimi Fairbairn comes on. This a 43-yard attempt. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports.
13. Texans 2.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. They'll roll him out right. He'll run it. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. And he's got some space here. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. It's a gain of 35. Not only another first down, that also puts him over 100 yards rushing.
That's not something you see very often in the NFL. We see it more in college, but I think with more of the melding of the college game with quarterbacks, we'll see this a little bit more often in the future.
Looking for the end zone. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable, so they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. My word, it'll be nothing short of a monstrous loss on the play, and that'll bring up a third down and very long. Now Murray, rolling to his right. Trying to improvise. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. A crazy sequence here. A huge gain that time, but it still leaves them well short for fourth down.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
Murray and company going for it on fourth. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. The Cardinals unable to convert there on fourth down. And this Texans defense stands tall. Well, they were looking for a clutch play there on fourth, unable to come up with it.
How about that defense, though, huh? How about that D?
Yeah, momentum swing.
And, you know, I remember playing how much fourth downs were emphasized. You know, because, as you said, it's a momentum play. It's also a big test for you. You know, if people are going to go for it on fourth down, they believe you're not up to the challenge. You want to show them differently.
At the 22-yard line.
To throw again on second down. Watson. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. And it's third and short.
Third down and 3 yards.
Operating from the gun. Watson has got his target. It's Cobb. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. To the air yet again, Watson. And his throw here is incomplete.
Intended for Brandon.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards the pickup there. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Watson looks to throw again. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? From the red zone now, Watson. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Chandler Jones, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Another try after the first down sack. Watson, and a quick throw here, that's complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
A 32-yard attempt.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a lot. Accelerating, and off he goes. The 40, 20, 10, 5. And he will score. Touchdown, Cardinals.
Touchdown, Cardinals.
So a pretty wild turn of events there. Instead of a sure 3 points, it's 6 the other direction.
And if you're kicking in the NFL, that should be pretty much automatic, but I don't think that's on him at all. The protection broke down. That led to the block.
Sliding out of the pocket. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. And that was the old QB one-man band play there on the conversion.
And look, let's face it, even quarterbacks who don't have great mobility, in certain situations, they're able to actually take the ball in themselves. Remember way back when Joe Namath against the Giants?
I knew you were going Namath.
Right? Remember Joe had all those knee operations. They thought he couldn't run it. No one accounted for him. He practically walked into the end zone.
Well, they were a little too excited to get the football, touched it before it went 10 yards.
And that's so difficult, isn't it? Because sometimes you can just take a bad hop and veer into your lane or into your body. In this case, though, they touched it before 10. Illegal touching is the call.
On first down, Watson throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap. He locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Back to the air, Watson on second down. Incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on first and second down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. The safety, Buda Baker, there to force the incompletion.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Flush to his right, going deep for Hopkins. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. A big-time play there by the Cardinals. 51 yards. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. He's going to take off with it. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Partner, it's often that man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
They'll wind up losing about a dozen on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Down and goal.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal. He may try and run, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Kyler Murray with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Cardinals push further out in front.
The defense was almost too good on that play. They took away all of his targets. The one thing they forgot, to account for him as a runner. And he's able to tuck it and go for the end zone.
And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Tried to roll out, make a play outside of the pocket, but couldn't get it done.
When you don't have a lot of space for your receivers to operate, and down there it's really condensed when you're snapping the ball from the 2-yard line, rolling out, you extend a play, but you don't necessarily open up better avenues for people. And on that play, there's just nowhere to go with the ball, and you end up getting sacked.
Houston set to take over. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Will Fuller was the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Throwing again is Watson. He's got his tight end. It's Fells. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. He finds his target, Fuller. Past the 20. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, 68 yards. And the Texans cut into that lead.
For the extra point.
As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
On the return, here's Edmonds. Powers through. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. He'll buy some time right. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. And some room to roam now. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him, and he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
They'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield, and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
This will make it into the end zone. Bust through the tackle. Still going. A lane opens here. He's past the 30.
Cardinals take over first and 10 at their own 36-yard line.
So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now he lets it go deep for, got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A huge play there for Arizona. 59 yards.
At the 4-yard line.
From the gun, Murray. And a big loss here as he's taken down. J.J. Watt. He's the one who runs him down, and my goodness, that is just a disastrous loss for this offense. They'll roll him out right. And he's going to keep it here. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for third down.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on second down.
His throw caught right around the 6. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Give him 13 yards on the connection, but not enough. Fourth down.
Nice job understanding the situation. Third and long. Kept the play in front of them and made the tackle. They gave up a good chunk of yardage, but it does force a fourth down.
And it's caught. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. From 4 yards out. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run. He finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and they open the lead up now to 25.
For Arizona.
Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. Fielded in the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is, just what you said, you've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. The Cards going nickel. An extra defensive back out there now on third down. On third and short, they'll try option left. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the first.
First down, Houston.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Goes back at the 33-yard line.
They'll try the air now with Watson. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
This is such a good read defensively. They know that this offense is going to try to get the ball to their playmaker in space. So what do? They crowd him and send bodies at him. And this one winds up being intercepted.
A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
A loss of 2 brings up 2nd and 12 at the 38-yard line.
Shotgun now from Murray. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And all the way down to the 12. A big-time play there by the Cardinals. 49 yards.
I'm seeing a lot of guys shaking their heads on defense right now, particularly in the secondary. And when you see that going on, that is never a good sign. But it's understandable. They've been shredded so far.
My goodness, it'll be a disastrous loss on the play, and that's going to bring up a 2nd and forever.
2nd down.
From his own end zone now, it's Murray rolling to his right. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. DeAndre Hopkins, he's all alone. Touchdown, Cardinals. DeAndre Hopkins, 98 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. I know this defense knew it coming into the game, Charles, and they know it even more now. DeAndre Hopkins is a tough cover.
And anytime you see him out there and there's less than double or triple teaming him, take a shot with it. Just what you're talking about. If he's such a tough cover, one guy's not going to get it done. Throw the ball out there. Let him go get it.
And he is going to be run down. What a disaster there. A huge loss.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Watson to give. This is Johnson. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
It's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
His throw incomplete. He was looking to go back to Cooks one more time, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Watson. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. 4th down.
There's another example what defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They gave up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a 4th down.
Cardinals take over 1st and 10 at their own 17.
DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he's really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there's certain barriers that you just don't want to give up. Never want to give up a 100-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver. He's closing in on 200 yards. Wow, that's a really big game.
Called that a very strong gain of 24.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Roughness, defense.
I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
He's airing it out for Williams. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A huge play there for Arizona. And even 40 yards. It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to pour it on. The quarterback run has eaten him up all game long, and there he goes again, this time into the end zone.
And what I like about what I'm seeing, absolutely running almost with impunity. He's not worried about his body. He's not worried about sliding. He's not worried about protecting himself. He's worried about getting yardage. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, you've got to start figuring out what these blocking schemes are and finding ways to defeat them.
Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. Taken about 7 yards deep, and it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
5-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. That was Patrick Peterson from his quarterback spot whirling in for the sack. Going to need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal?
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback. Almost never.
And now Watson throws another interception. Picked up by the linebacker Jordan Hicks. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying...
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Max Williams, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Cards use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run that.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jordan Phillips able to drop him for a loss of a couple. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Another try after the first down sack. Watson throwing middle, and it's complete.
Complete to
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this. And
that his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the linebacker Jordan Hicks, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
the Cardinals take over 1st and 10 at the 40.
On 1st down, Drake. And he's got room. The 20, down the numbers. There he goes. Touchdown, Cardinals. Kenyon Drake, 45 yards. And the Cardinals turning that interception into a touchdown. Here we go now as they will again try for 2.
I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Chandler Jones picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And now he's going to use his legs. Got some room at the 30 and all the way up to the 35-yard line. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain.
16 yards. And the Texans 1st down.
Operating from the gun. Watson flushed out right. He'll try and run it. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
Baker on the tackle.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Watson, screen play, Johnson. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
Johnson.
The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts.
1st down.
It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. From the gun, Watson. Open man, the tight end fells. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan 1st down.
Texans.
Operating from the gun, Watson. This is caught. It's Cooks. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
And the Texans 1st down.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Johnson. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
The ball carrier.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
David Johnson on the
This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
makes the score Cardinals 60.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They'll start the drive with Drake. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. That's going to leave him with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. Sliding out of the pocket. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era when we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy point.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Cardinals add on. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. And now out comes Houston. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Watson on first down. It's caught left side by Cooks. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. A shotgun snap for Watson. Fells has it left side. A gain of 6 there on first. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Over the middle, it's Fells. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 31-yard line. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
On second and 10, Watson firing quickly here, and that's complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
And it's 3rd down.
Again, it's Watson. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down. And that one drops to the ground. Incomplete. Clock stops here just inside of 20 seconds, 19 left. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Still churning. And they work this out past the 25. The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Now on first down, Drake again. He finds an opening past the 40. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, partner, when a team's up this big, this late in the game, I always wonder what's their motivation, because if it's me, I'm thinking about pulling on the reins a little bit, but for them, I don't think it's in their DNA. It's not their head coach's makeup at all. I think his opinion is, you stop us. We're not supposed to pull back ourselves.
Zane Gonzalez to kick off for Arizona.
And they've got it. They recovered it. But hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down. So they hit the ball before it went 10 yards. I know that's tough, but you got to stay disciplined.
It is difficult because you're so eager to go get the football. It's that type of a play, but you're exactly right. Have to have the discipline to let it go 10 first.
Now a desperate. This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10.
73.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying.